Problem number 8, which says the graphs of these two functions intersect at the points -1, 1 and 9, 8. Find a plus c. So if you look at the graph of y equals absolute value of x minus a plus b, that goes through both of those points. So that means that 8 equals absolute value of 9 minus a plus b, and 1 equals absolute value of -1 minus a plus b. So now you have two equations and two unknowns, so you can solve for a and b. You really just need to solve for a. So if you subtract these two equations, then you get 7 equals, the b's cancel out, so then you get absolute value of 9 minus a minus the absolute value of -1 minus a. So now you know that this part is going to be positive when a is less than 9, and it's going to be negative when a is greater than 9. And then for this one, that's going to be positive if a is less than -1, and negative when a is greater than -1. So you can break this up into certain cases. So case 1, if a is less than or equal to -1, then you have 7, that means this is still going to be positive, so you have 9 minus a, and this is also going to be positive, so you have minus -1 minus a. So 7 equals 9 minus a plus 1 plus a, so 7 equals 10. And that does not work, so we have to move on to our next case. Case 2, if a is greater than -1 and less than 9. So it's greater than -1 and it's less than or equal to 9. Then you have, this is still going to be positive, so you have 9 minus a, and this part is going to be negative, so minus a negative, so it's going to be plus -1 minus a. So 7 equals 9 minus 1 is 8, -a minus a minus 2a. So -1 equals -2a, 1/2 equals a. We still have one more case to check, so let's just do that. Case 3 is if a is greater than 9. That means that this is going to be negative, and this is also going to be negative. So you have 7 equals -9 minus a plus -1 minus a. So 7 equals -9 plus a minus 1 minus a. So 7 equals -10. And that also does not work. So now you have a. So now we're just going to do the same thing with the other equation. Y equals negative absolute value of x minus c plus d. So 8 equals negative absolute value of 9 minus c plus d. And 1 equals negative absolute value of -1 minus c plus d. So we're going to do the same thing. D's cancel out, so you have 7 equals negative absolute value of 9 minus c. This is going to be minus minus, so it's plus absolute value of -1 minus c. So you're going to have the same 3 cases as you did here. And we saw that case 2 was the only case that worked, so let's just do case 2. So that's going to be when -1 is less than c, which is less than or equal to 9. So 7 equals negative absolute value. This is still going to be positive, so that's, whoops. So that's minus 9 minus c. And then this is going to be negative, so that's minus -1 minus c. So 7 equals -9 plus c plus 1 plus c. So you have 7 equals negative 8 plus 2c. So 15 equals 2c. 15 halves equals c. And it asks you for a plus c. So a plus c equals 1/2 plus 15 halves, which equals 16 halves, which equals 8. And that's your answer.